What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Cool Espresso, and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. Today, I want to do some wrap up of some stuff that was in the Call of Duty world this past week, and something that I wanted to cover earlier but just never got around to it. This more so pertaining to Infinite Warfare and a certain something that was data mined from the game code, and something that's been kind of in the rumors for the past couple of weeks to maybe month or so, but this is the rumor of Scorestreak variants coming to Infinite Warfare, and by all indications, what's been data mined and things like that actually in the game code, which usually indicates some things coming in the future. There's pretty much nothing that stops this from being a legitimate thing, that it's going to be something that does happen somewhere in the near future. Now, when that actually is, we have no idea. There's no set time or ETA for it, but all we do know is that there are going to be 42 Scorestreak prototypes, variants if you want to call them that, and some of them have specific classifications, that being rare, legendary, and epic variants of the Scorestreak. So in this one, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about them, tell you guys what they are, give a little bit of the description, and everything like this. You guys are in the loop and in the know for Infinite Warfare's Scorestreak system and a potential update that could happen very soon. Now, if you ask me, a lot of these do have nice counterbalances to it, so nothing is overpowered or anything like that, whereas, say, in Advanced Warfare, you could build some pretty OP streaks. A lot of these really just counterbalance themselves so that they cost more, have a decent effect, but also have a downside to them. So you'll see what I mean here with this, but that is essentially the way that it works with this system. But let's jump right into the streaks themselves. Let's first start out with the UAV. Firstly, there is the rare Rat Pack, which is going to cost 500 score and has Steadfast, which makes it stay longer, but also it then is fragile and has less health than normal. The legendary version, the Carapace, costs 500 score as well, but it's buffed being named Plated with higher resistance against explosive weapons. So a launcher trying to shoot it down, it might survive one shot rather than just being taken out in one. But it also is once again nerfed on the other side of that by Depleted. It's only active for a short period of time, much shorter than the standard UAV. The epic version, the Kickback, costs 625 score and uses Teamwork as the ability, which gives increased assist points, but it also costs more than the base Scorestreak. Moving over to the next Scorestreak, that being the Scarab, the rare is called the Frostbite and it costs 450 score, but the ability with this one is called Frigid, which increases the frost duration. Now, the nifty part about this one is there's no real downside to it. It only has one classification to it and no counterbalance to that Frigid ability. So do with that what you will. The next one up is the legendary Torque, that being once again 450 score with an ability of Swift, which moves faster, and then Dense, which has a higher chassis rate. So you can't get as high if you go and jump up, so the vertical boost is not as much. The epic version is the Specter, that once again costs 450 score with the ability of Muted, which gives off a lower sound output. So very quiet, it's hard to hear this one coming, but it also has the ability of Sluggish, which it moves at a slower speed. So again, kind of counterbalancing and all a matter of preference. Next up is the Drone Package. The rare version of this does not have a name at the moment, none of these actually do, but costing 350 score, it gives the ability to have an explosive package, which basically is a care package fake, as we've seen in previous years. The legendary version costs 550 score and offers you the ability to re-roll the package for the contents to change up what you want. However, that also comes then with Low Roller, which gives a lower chance for higher tier score streaks. The epic version then costs 1200 score, which is equipped with the High Roller ability, which only contains higher tier score streaks, but it's also a much pricier score streak. The counter UAV has a rare that is 600 score, which has the ability of Steadfast, which stays longer for a longer period of time, and Fragile, which once again has less health than normal. The legendary costs 600 as well, with the ability of Shutdown, which completely takes the enemy HUDs offline, and the allies are immune to the tech, including thermal and AI streak targeting. But it also has a downside of Depleted, which is shorter than the standard Scorestreak as well. The epic version then costs 1,150 score, but is equipped with an EMP blast, which on entry, all equipment and score streaks are destroyed. But the downside of this is that it's equipped with pricier, which means that it is a higher score streak cost. Next up on the list is the Vulture with a rare of 700 score with the ability of self-destruct, which explodes on death. So it deals damage within a small radius and might pick you up a kill here or there, but it also comes counterbalanced with fragile, which it has less health than normal. The legendary costs 700 score, which it has the ability of Guard Dog, which allows it to guard an area instead of following the player. But the counterbalance, once again, is it goes dark, which means radar mode is offline. The epic version also costs 700 score with the ability of Seeker, where it roams around the area looking for targets. The counterbalance is sluggish, which it moves at a slower speed. Moving over into the Trinity Rocket, the rare costs 750 score as with the rest of the others, and it comes with the ability of Ripple, which gives off a single payload with a large chain explosion detonation. But the counterbalance is armless, which means it no longer has two-sided missiles to fire. It's just a single Hellstorm if you want to put it that way. The legendary is the Biohazard, which releases a cloud of toxic gas on impact. There's actually nothing that counterbalances this. As well as the epic doesn't have a counterbalance, that one comes with the ability of Endless, which it is able to continuously fire side missiles with a slight delay. So that'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. Next up is the Scorchers. This one, the rare crossbow, costs 800 score, and it has the ability of Precision Strike, which all planes will strike the same point, not having to mark 3 different locations, but just one, and it'll put the entire payload on that one location. Then it comes with a downside of, once again, Lone Scorcher. The planes no longer fly in formation, but come in at one at a time. The legendary Pulsar costs 870 score with the ability of Swift, which moves faster, but it also has a downside of Pricey, which it's a higher score streak cost. The epic Hydra costs 800 score, which is back down to the base model, but it comes with the ability of Split Strike, where you can manually choose strike locations for each plane. But the downside is, once again, it's a Lone Scorcher, so the planes don't fly in formation, they come in one at a time, so there's a slight delay. Next up is the Bombardment with the rare coming in at 850 score and the ability of Supersonic, where the explosive payloads arrive quicker. But the downside is there is a warning shot, so there's fewer explosions in the targeted area. The legendary version costs 925 score with the ability Tactician, which makes it able for an extra selection to be targeted on the map. But it also comes with the downside of Pricey, making it a higher score streak cost. Now the epic version drops down to 850 score once again, with auto target being the ability where it locks onto all enemy locations before firing, which is very interesting to see how that one will work out. But the only downside is that it comes alongside with one shot, where it only fires off a single explosion per location. Next up is the Shock Sentry, and this one, the rare, comes in at 900 score, as do the rest of them, with the ability of Alert, where it has faster seeking time on enemy targets, but also is equipped with Fragile, which means it has less health than normal. Then the legendary version has the ability of Anti-Air, which will periodically fire at targets in the air, which is pretty cool. Acts as almost a little bit of a anti-air defense if you're looking at it that way, but it also comes with Drained, and it will no longer shock nearby enemy targets on impact. The epic version will have the ability of Tracking, which it shoots multiple tracking missiles at targets, but the downside is it's also equipped with Rusted Turret, which means turrets will have a slower rate of fire. The Warden then comes in with the rare Watchdog that costs 1100, as with the rest of the others, with the ability of Extra Flare, which has an additional flare to deter lock-on missiles, which is definitely nice if people are trying to shoot down your stuff and you want a few extra kills with it. But it also comes with Depleted, meaning that it's active for a shorter period of time. The legendary Reactor comes with the ability of Ammo Swap, where the rear turrets now fire bullets, but it also comes with the downside of Rusted Turret, which means that it has a slower rate of fire. The epic Showtime only has one thing, and that is an upside, where it is equipped with Kill Zone, where you can call in a sweep before the Warden begins its patrol. Next up on the list is the Advanced UAV, coming in with its first tier of rare, costing 1250 score, with the ability of Steadfast, which stays active for a longer period of time, but is also fragile, so it has less health. The legendary version costs 1250 as well, with the ability of Stealth, where it slightly stays hidden through the use of reflective camo, but it also comes with Depleted, where it's active for a shorter period of time. Now the epic bumps up the score just slightly to 1350 score, where it comes with the ability of Max Signal, where enemy markers are always visible and update in real time. So it's the return of the Orbital VSAT, if you want to put it that way, and I'm super hyped for this one. I'm totally going to end up using this all the time. That's my biggest complaint with the Advanced UAV, is that it's delayed, it doesn't have that really worthwhile factor, I think. I genuinely love this idea to bring back the VSAT in the form of the advanced UAV, but epic version. Now, of course, it comes once again equipped with the downside of pricey with a higher score streak cost. Moving over to the Thor, the rare version costs 1300, as does the others, with the ability of plated, where it has a higher resistance against explosive weapons, but it also is active for a shorter period of time. The legendary version is simply game code. It doesn't actually come with anything to buff it or bring it down at the moment. It's not necessarily coded in at this point, but it'll be interesting where that one goes. But the epic version comes in with the ability of incoming, where each released cluster seeks out targets in view, but it also comes with unchained, where cluster missiles no longer track and move with the reticle. Moving on to our final two score streaks, that first one being the RC8, the rare cost 1450 score, as do the others. Comes with the ability of Swift, where it moves faster, but it also is active for a shorter period of time. The legendary version comes with one ability, that being Minigun, where it replaces the main weapon with a fast-firing energy machine gun. So that thing might be a little bit more overpowered than you think, but we'll see how that one plays out. The epic version comes with the ability of Brawler with a higher health and movement speed, but is only allowed to shield bash. So it kind of takes away the ability to use any of the weapons, but instead will come at you like the bull charge would. But it also comes with the downside of gunless. So of course, like I said, it doesn't use the main guns. Now the final one, the AP3X, comes with the rare version of plated, which has higher resistance against explosive weapons, and depleted, which it's active for a shorter period of time. That one costs 1550 score. That moves us then into the legendary, which bumps it slightly down in score to 1500, where it comes with the ability of Bloodhound, where launched missiles will automatically seek visible targets, but the downside is it's cumbersome, which means it has a slower reload speed. The epic version only has one, and it bumps it back up to 1550 score, but the ability is Twin Dragons, where it has two laser turrets that lock onto targets. So that'll be once again interesting to see how it is, but that right there is all 42 stated variants to Infinite Warfare score streak system, the brand new variant system within Infinite Warfare, if you want to put it that way. And it's really interesting, I think, how a lot of these will play out. Most of these, like I said, do have great counterbalances where they do offer a little bit of a buff in strength or how things work, but at the same time, it also takes away from the core mechanics and some of the things that really are imperative to the Infinite Warfare streak. So that is where we're gonna wrap it up. I wanna let you guys know about this and give you guys everything you didn't know here. Once again, it is something that we don't have any idea when these will come. We thought they'd be coming immediately right after DLC 1, but that still is not the case, and we're almost at DLC 2 now, so when we could see these, I don't know, maybe they'll launch with the patch update to the game at DLC 2, maybe shortly thereafter, maybe shortly beforehand. We don't have any clue at the very moment, but right now we do have the list of 42 variants, or score streak prototypes as they're technically called. So that said, that's gonna wrap it up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Drop your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Do you guys like this system? Do you guys agree with me that I think that there are some good and bad that really just kind of keep them neutral and nothing really too overpowered? Or what are your thoughts here on this? I'd love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below, so feel free to drop them. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like down below. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Mastered, Black Ops 3, and COD 2017. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that is the best place to get connected with me here outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys want to check out either of the two videos on screen right now, one will take you to a little bit of a discussion on the newest rumor, Call of Duty Chemical Warfare. Is it legit? Is it not? Whatever it may be, we talk about it in that video. And the other one will take you to a little bit of a rumor that the fire rates were buffed in Modern Warfare Mastered that we go into a little bit of detail and discuss. But all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. My name is Nikolai Espresso. Take care and peace.